Good day to everyone. Xixiang. I'd like to greet everyone on this very special occasion of the enshrinement of the relics of Master Xingyin at Mabuhay Temple in the Philippines. On the occasion of the 60th anniversary of Fo Guangshan and the 100th birth anniversary of Master Xingyin, the Philippines is so blessed to be receiving these relics. And I understand we are one of only 12 countries in the 5 continents to be receiving these relics. And it is a testament to the close relationship between Fo Guangshan humanistic Buddhism and our nation. And today I would specifically want to focus on the relationship between the Catholic Church and humanistic Buddhism as experienced through Fo Guangshan. Let me begin by sharing some images with you to make my sharing a little bit more interesting. So on this occasion, I'd like to begin by sharing a little bit about relics. This is something we have in common. Just as we value so much the relics of Master Xingyin that we are receiving today, do you know that in the Catholic Church, we also have great devotion to relics of the saints, to the Jesus Christ, Virgin Mary, all our holy men and women. You see these metal containers where we have pieces or a part of the body or the clothing or things that were touched, that were special to the holy men and women of the Catholic Church. We also venerate them in our churches, and we see them as reminders, as a kind of presence of the holy men and women in our midst. So in the same way, I am sure the presence of the relics of Master Xingyin among us will deepen our appreciation of humanistic Buddhism and the values that he shared with us, especially in our country, the Philippines. Let me share some photos that I found about the close relationship of Master Xingyin with some Catholic leaders. First of all, with Cardinal Paul Shankosi of Taiwan, the first cardinal from Taiwan. They had a very close relationship. And in fact, at the funeral of Cardinal Shan back in 2012, Master Xingyin spoke, and I also saw the books and videos that they produced together talking about the meaning of life, the meaning of death, especially in the Taiwanese context. Apart from Cardinal Shan, Master Xingyin also met Pope John Paul II. And here we see in the photos, Cardinal Shan also present in one of those audiences. Later on, Master Xingyin had the opportunity to meet Pope Benedict XVI around 2006 in a general audience at the Vatican. And this legacy of maintaining friendly relationship with the Pope is carried on even in the present day. I note that a few years ago, Master Sin Pao, current head of Fo Guangshan, met Pope Francis at the Vatican when a delegation of Chinese humanistic Buddhists visited Pope Francis. So, closer to home now, I would like to share with you that for several times I have already taught a course at the East Asian Pastoral Institute on interreligious dialogue. And every time I have brought the priests and sisters and lay people, Catholics all, to Mabuhay Temple. And we have always been received so warmly, an opportunity for the participants to learn a little bit about Chinese Buddhism, humanistic Buddhism, and in particular, the programs of the Mabuhay Temple. This is a picture from our most recent visit last November. So the relationship, the friendship between Catholics and Chinese Buddhists has a long history and is going strong. Let me now focus on other ways by which Fo Guangshan and Master Xingyin deepened the relationship with the Catholic Church. First of all, Fo Guangshan centers in the Philippines, we all know the presence in Manila, in Iloilo, in Bacolod, in Cebu, in Silang, in Tagaytay. All the Fo Guangshan centers, I think, are also cultural centers where Chinese culture and Chinese values are promoted and shared with a wider audience. I think many scholars have also noted this, and it is very, very important. Second, the use of language. Here you see posters of Fo Guangshan activities in the Philippines using the English language. And we take this for granted, but it is very important because in the history of Chinese Buddhism in the Philippines, the 1990s was a watershed moment when Fo Guangshan arrived and the monastics could speak English and therefore interact with a wider audience. Before that, the Chinese Buddhist communities could only operate within the Chinese community using Chinese languages like Hokkien, Mindanhua, or Putonghua. But with Fo Guangshan, with the English-speaking monastics, there was a big change. And then, using the English language for Dharma services to be offered following a Christian timeline. No Dharma services on Saturday evenings, Sunday mornings. This is the time for Christian devotions. And the Dharma services were also offered following the same Christian timeline. This is also very important and a good way of being present and being available in the Philippines. And not only that, we know that there are also marriage rites, following Western appearances, but conducted in a Chinese Buddhist setting. You see that in this picture. This is one of only many weddings that have taken place there. One of the first activities I attended of Fo Guangshan more than 15 years ago, the Bathing the Buddha ceremony. In my research, I have highlighted what this does for Filipino Catholics. In the Filipino Catholic mind, we are reminded about the Santo Niño, the child Jesus. This is the first image of Jesus that was received in the Philippine Islands when the Spanish first came in the 16th century. And so when we see Bathing the Buddha, we see the convergence of these images, the child Jesus, the child Buddha. And then we see the message of the Buddha, of peace, equanimity, of overcoming suffering through mindfulness, through right living. This is another meeting point that is so important and so unique in the Philippine setting. And then, part of the legacy of Master Singing in the Philippines, he noticed that the Filipino culture is very aligned with music, with dance, with arts, with performance. And we know that this has flourished in the Philippines through Fo Guangshan. The Siddhartha musical has been produced a number of times, performed in different cities in the Philippines and abroad. Most recently, the Star and Cloud musical in tribute to Venerable Master Singin performed in Cebu. This is something that has grown, and we know that the Cebu, Bacolod, Manila temples are also centers for the arts. And then, education and sports. Kwangming College started in the Mabuhay Temple, now with its beautiful campus in Tagaytay, and offering not only Buddhist studies, but values education, life education, sports science. Sports is the other big area where the youth of the Philippines can be channeled in very productive, very wholesome activities. Here we see the achievement of the PEP squad, and we know that there are also invitational basketball games that are carried out through Kwangming College. So arts and sports, these very important ways of forming the youth and training them into becoming productive citizens and good people. This is a great legacy of Master Singin in the way he understood the Philippine context. And then who can forget the 3 acts of goodness? Again, universal values, thinking good thoughts, speaking good words, doing good deeds. 都是好事，说好话，做好事。And I know that this is already being implemented in several public schools around the country. Again, a legacy of Master Singin and his community in the Philippines. And this is something that we hope will continue to grow. Finally, sharing an insight from Dr. Michael Tan, president of Kwangming College, that humanistic Buddhism, as handed down to us by Master Singin, will continue expanding, not just beyond Christianity, but throughout the whole world. The treasures are there, and I have shared some of them with you today, and we will continue gathering these stories of people and knowledge so that we can share them with future generations and together build a more harmonious world. We know that in our time, there are many conflicts around the world, and we need really to work together to work for peace and harmony. We have to send our good thoughts to what is happening in the Middle East, where so many people are suffering because of human attachment to power and control, and there is a big lack of ideas of peace that starts with the self and for this to be what we share in the wider world. So again, greetings to the Fo Guangshan Mabuhay Temple and all the guests today. I am confident that by welcoming the relics of Venerable Master Hsing Yun to the Philippines, we will deepen our appreciation of humanistic Buddhism, and that the cooperation, the collaboration with the Catholic community will continue, and together we will work together to have a better human society, taking care of the environment, taking care of each other for the betterment, for the flourishing of the human community. Thank you very much.